it out to all my friends to come and support me.
Jerry, that's just sad and so many
I know.
If you did and nobody showed up, that's
Yeah.
sad.
Now, my wife actually even offered to come. I said no.
Aww.
She never offers to come.
She could have brought a little sippy cup with her.
Well.
And shared with me.
Yeah.
Okay, you're live. Are you supposed to be coming? Dave?
No.
He's not, oh, that's right.
No.
Yes, you said he was able to be here. June 2023. It's 7 o'clock.
It's 7 o'clock. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the June 20th, 2023 Village Board meeting. Please rise and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, we have a full house here tonight. Luckily, because this is my first board meeting that I'm running, the mayor is out of town. So, hopefully we'll get through this pretty painlessly. It's a light agenda. So a couple of things. We'll open up with the approval. I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes from the May 15th and the June 5th village board meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. We're looking for a motion to approve the water main hookup for 5 Oak Street. So on 5 Oak, there's already a building that's in process of being renovated. He has a water line coming in, and he needs to do a fire suppression system, which is going to tap into the water main. So we just need a village board approval to allow him to go ahead and do the work, and it'll be overseen by the water department of the highway.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next on your list is the approval for Labella Planning Board contract proposal amendment. Currently, they're looking to add $8,000 to, for our consultant, for Karen Labruto, our village planner. So we're looking for a motion to approve $8,000, which will come out of the planning board consultant line. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next up is the approval for a purchase of a mini excavator. This has been, from what I understand, this has been going on for years. We've been trying to purchase a mini excavator for the highway department. They do a lot of work, as you know, on the water, sewer lines. We have a backhoe that's aging, and it's a large piece of equipment. The mini excavator is much smaller and much more versatile and be used on the smaller streets. We've actually had to go out and rent one on numerous occasions, depending on the job and what needs to be done. So with the money that we received from the ARPA funds, the American Rescue,
Gosh, we both can't remember.
yeah, American Rescue Plan Act. So last budget's, in this current budget, we had budgeted, I think, either 90 or 95,000. We priced them out for the mini excavator or Kubota. And we did price one out with Westchester Tractor recently. And the price came in at, you have it. I saw something.
85,149,19.
That's it, thank you, yes. And that's a Kubota. It comes with all the attachments and equipment that the highway department feels that they're gonna need. It is under New York State contract. So I am looking for a motion of approval to purchase the Kubota.
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
Great machine.
Yeah, on these village streets, they're
Yeah,
gonna.
I see it used every day.
Yeah.
Well worth the money.
Okay, so next, this was an add-on to the agenda recently. It's to approve a resolution for the approval of a contract for American Pump. Dan, would you like to speak on this a little bit?
Yes, I'd be happy to. Dave Daniels and I worked on that resolution today, and we're requesting that the board review it and approve it. We believe this is necessary because of the drought condition that continues in the Route 22 corridor. Our permit for the Omshide wells requires that the village continuously monitor groundwater levels. And they have dropped to a level that in the not too distant future, if we don't get rain, we will be forced to curtail the use of the Omshide wells until that water level returns to a satisfactory condition. My staff and I have talked with both DEC, who have indicated that we have permission to use the Lower Baxter wells because of the permit that they issued in January, and Dutchess County Department of Behavioral and Environmental Health, who will actually approve the use of the wells on a temporary and emergency basis. This is to be prepared in the event that rains don't return to the Hudson Valley, so that we can use the Lower Baxter wells, which are proven out at a total yield of 200 gallons a minute, but the particular well that we want to use is approved at 95 gallons a minute, and we would like to put a pump and motor in that well and connect it to the existing piping systems that the village paid for to connect Omshide to the Baxter water treatment plant, to allow us to introduce that water into the system to augment its supply this summer. American has done significant work both on the Omshide property and on the Lower Baxter property, both in the investigation of the water resource and in connecting pipes and putting pumps in and maintaining those wells. So they have the entire skill set necessary to do this work. They have submitted a lump sum proposal for $7,500 to do that work, which I believe is a fair and reasonable price for the amount of work involved. I think it's important that the village move ahead with this at the earliest possible time to give us the flexibility to provide this additional gallonage to its source capacity, and I would recommend strongly that you approve that resolution tonight.
Dan, a quick question. By doing that, that's going to help us or alleviate us from having to use the other Libby Lane well, is that correct?
We've committed not to use Libby because of natural contaminants that exist in it. So
right.
I don't believe Libby is an option for the village at this point. We will continue to use Corbin sparingly to augment supplies as necessary to keep the tank full, and we'll use the reservoir well nearly continuously, but it only produces about 12 gallons a minute. So the mix of wells, as I see it, to get us through this dry condition will be the reservoir well, Baxter 1 and Baxter 2 at total of about 20 gallons a minute. Those are the existing, they were installed about 2,000 existing wells. The new BG4, which we proved out at about 95 gallons a minute a year and a half ago, and Omshide at a reduced rate to conserve the resource there in deference to the species that the state is very interested in protecting.
And another quick question. The reason that we're doing this at tonight's meeting is the sudden drop in the groundwater recently?
Yes, we've monitored the groundwater, H2O. Your operators look at the groundwater elevation data daily. About 2 weeks ago, that elevation difference between piezometer 5 and 4 was right around 4 inches. A week ago, it was right around 3 inches, and so we lost almost an inch in that delta over 1 week. This morning, it was at 2.77 inches. We're obligated on when and if it hits 2.5 inches, and if it ever hits 2.0, we're required to significantly decrease the yield from those wells. Actually, if it goes below 2, we have to stop using it. So it would be a big hit on our total source capacity.
Okay. Anybody have any?
Yeah, I have a question, Dan. This work
Yeah.
that's proposed to be done, is this work that has to be done anyway, or is this just temporary work that's gonna be pulled out when?
Well, it's the pump will be reused as the permanent
Okay, so, okay.
pumping system. We're going to put that in this well temporarily with a temporary sanitary seal.
Okay.
Eventually, that will be removed, and what's known as a Baker pitless unit will be installed in its place. But as a temporary mechanism, we'll have a sanitary seal on the top of this well, a meter, and we will power this well with the village's generator that it bought to run the Umshot wells 2 years ago. So there'll be roughly 200 feet of 3-inch overland high-density polyethylene pipe between the well and a valve vault that exists next to the future water treatment plant. And we will tie in at that place. That water then, through the valving system in that vault, can be directed to the existing water treatment plant. So the pipe will be reused, the motor and the pump will be reused, but at some point we'll have to cut the top of the casing, weld the Baker unit on, and then replace this pump and motor into the same well.
Okay, thank you, Dan.
Anything, Steve?
Thank you.
No, I'm good.
Thanks, Dan. Very informative as always. So do I have a resolution for the approval of the contract with American Pump for $7,500?
I'll make that.
Any second?
I'll second it, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Dan, you're gonna stay on the line for a minute, right?
I am.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion to approve the Metro North Treasurer's Report as stated?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. Engineers report. Dan, you're up again.
Yes, I don't have much to say other than, the Lower Baxter thing, which was the focal point for tonight. We are, Jeff Smith, your financial consultant for projects, and I have, and Christine have worked on water rates and wastewater rates for about the last 2 years. We are recommending that the village board move forward on the water side while we take a little bit of a breath and figure out the path for effecting updated wastewater rates. So at the next meeting, we'll provide you with the actions that we believe are necessary by the village board to implement those new water rates. These are the rates that were shared with the board, maybe a month and a half ago. Christine and I have talked to Williamson Law, who is the company that programs the billing system, and they're capable of rewriting the program so that it can be in place for the September billing. But I think there will be at least one action by the board in July and possibly a final action by the board in August to adopt these new rates so that they can go in effect in September. The rates have not been changed since it was either 2016 or 2017. Although the board at that time did approve an increase, it was never implemented. COVID got in the way and everything slowed down. But it is important that we generate a little more revenue on the water side to pay for, water main breaks that need to be fixed and things of that nature. So you'll be hearing from both Dave, Jeff Smith, and me over July and August to try to get this thing done properly.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Very good, Dan, thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Okay, there's no other items on the agenda. I just want to bring up a couple of quick points. The car show went off, I think it was last weekend, the Saturday before. Seemed like a great attendance. There's a lot of people in the village. Unfortunately, we did have another sewer blockage backup at the Chamber Building. With that being said, I know the mayor's discussing it. We're gonna have to try to revisit hours of operation for that public restroom, just because the volume, it just can't handle large volumes. So that's gonna be a discussion we're probably gonna have next meeting. We also had a water main break, as Dan was saying, with the failing system. We did have a water main break on East Main Street and Route 22. The guys were able to, it was identified first thing in the morning. They had it wrapped up by lunch. The highway guys and the water department did a nice job on getting that repaired. They had all the parts that were needed, so they got that patched up and running again. I think there was minimal shutdown to some of the residents. Very few, but they took care of it right away, which is good. So that's all I have. Arthur, you have anything?
No, I'm good.
No? Steve?
I'm good.
Very good. Well, thank you all for coming, and that concludes our meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
There we go.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Jennifer and gentlemen, and we'll talk soon.
Very good.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.